Unresolved problem segment tonight. It's getting more difficult for the pro-Obama media to support what's happening in Washington. Watch this.
The president should join us in Obamacare and the rest of America. Is that pretty reasonable? We should all be treated equally under the law? Why should members of Congress be in Obamacare, not the president? Explain that one. Isn't that fair?
Well, I think that
can you defend that? Can you defend why the president shouldn't be in Obamacare like members of Congress and their staffs?
I can't defend why the Congress and the White House.
One footnote, Congress people and their staff members are required to sign up for Obamacare, but they get subsidies in the health insurance arena. Joining us from Washington, Kate Obershane, a Republican, and Kirsten Powers, a Democrat, also a Fox News analyst. Powers, what about the leadership now? This is my big problem. It's not a micro win on the shutdown or a micro win on Obamacare. It's leadership, which I think the president is losing control of. And you say?
Well, I think that this is probably not going to be known in history as the era of great leadership anywhere. And I think certainly the president has his deficits in that area. But if we're going to look at the last week or so, definitely the Republicans are coming off much more badly in my estimation. I don't think that there's much that Obama could be doing because they keep insisting they want to negotiate, but all their negotiations involve basically Obama capitulating to their crazy demands. So I think they are crazy.
Do you really think that asking for, which is really what this is coming down to now, is asking for a waiver for individuals on Obamacare sign-ups for a year? If you want to, you can, but if you don't, we'll give you a year to sort all out the problems, and we'll see what the co-pays and deductibles are. We'll see what insurance going up, going down. Do you really think that's some kind of crazy demand, Powers?
Yeah.
Well,
we talked about this last week. Week. What's crazy about it is when it's coming up. Now, you're sort of acting like the Republicans, this was their out-of-their-gate request, when, as we know, that's not really what happened. They actually wanted to shut down Obamacare completely and defund it, and they're just not getting anywhere with that. So now they're trying to shift to these other ideas, and this is the new one.
I think
it is crazy to bring this up like 2 days after the exchange's launch.
Look, we all know that the Republican, Kate, don't laugh at Kirsten. That's not nice.
It is so funny to say that all of a sudden Republicans are just bringing this up. That is not so.
Let me frame the question and you can go in, but let's be respectful here. Now, there's no doubt Republicans hate Obamacare. Every one of them voted against it in 2009-10. Every one of them. We know that. But the fact and the truth is that this massive program is now out of control. You can't get through. Nobody knows how it's going to affect them. People are seeing their premiums go up when they didn't expect it. So let a year go, because that's the same waiver the president granted companies. That's not a crazy position. Now, Kate, there is no doubt that the Republican Party wants to sabotage this program, and this is the president's legacy. So I'm saying, don't sabotage the whole program. Just go for this micro change, and then we can see better, you say.
I respectfully disagree with your analysis that they're trying to sabotage it. It's very hard to keep a straight face, folks, when all the Democrats can say is how crazy Republicans are being, because they're listening to the American people who didn't like the bill in the first place. They don't like it now. This is part of the American process, Kirsten, where when they don't like it, those who are advocating on behalf of the American people have every right to try to change things. And they're trying to change it in any
stuff that
hang on, are you going to show respect for me?
Let her finish. Go ahead, Kate.
So it's obviously in the right of Republicans to very reasonably say there should be a delay. No, we're not going to be able to get rid, just like Sean Duffy very courageously said in that interview with Andrea Mitchell, it's clear we're not going to get rid of Obamacare. But why can't individuals be treated the same way that businesses are being treated, the same way that big labor, the same way that Obama cronies are being treated, and be allowed a year delay if they want it? That's reasonable. That's not crazy.
I think you're going to lose this argument among the American people, even on some on your side. Even some on your side, like Manchin and a couple, and more than a few Congress people, Democratic Congress people, are saying, you know what, let's do this. Then in a year from now, we can see. Look, the bottom line is, Kirsten, if it's a good law, if most Americans will benefit from it, then they'll want it, and then it'll all kick in.
It won't. It doesn't work without the individual mandate bill. There will not be a pool
it works. There's enough funding
for it. In there. And the other, I'm going to explain to you why the individual mandate versus the businesses mandate, which you keep comparing them to each other, like why one gets it and why the other doesn't. The business mandate is very complicated, and the businesses were having a very hard time understanding how they were supposed to implement all this. The individual mandate is not remotely complicated.
Yes,
it's very simple. You're an individual,
Look at your insurance
and you get
premium.
health insurance.
All right.
But in terms of complication, there is no complication.
I've got to stop it. I've got to stop it. Nobody knows what they're going to be paying. Co-pays, deductibles, insurance premiums.
They will know before it's time to buy the insurance.
But they'll be blindsided.
It's not until January, Bill, that
the problem is, Kirsten, it's expensive for those individuals. Their deductibles are going up too. People aren't talking about that.
If you want in, you get in. You don't, you get 10 months, 9 months. Ladies, thanks very much. Plenty more ahead.